We investigated Tesla's Autopilot. It's scarier than you think. So says this video I stumbled across that's already gathered a whopping 400,000 eyeballs. And judging from its toxic comment section, it's done a fine job of convincing people the exact opposite of reality. Tesla bad, Elon Musk bad, and Tesla's unsafe. Let's watch this fine piece of Tesla propaganda together, and I'll interrupt with common sense and opinions along the way.
For nearly a decade, Tesla promised self-driving cars.
Next year, by the end of the year, probably around, second quarter of next year.
This summer, we got to see what they actually looked like.
Might want to dial back your expectation.
One customer capturing footage of a left turn gone wrong, and others traveling in cars exceeding posted speed limits.
On a scale of kindergarten through 12th grade, the pilot tests that they're running are like first or second grade.
But here's what's scarier. While Tesla was failing to deliver that promise, they sold versions of that technology to hundreds of thousands of people.
Let's see how it works.
They called it,
And we are turning.
Autopilot and full self-driving.
Oh dear Jesus!
This gambit made Tesla one of the most valuable companies in the world. But the gap between promise and reality has consequences.
I can see where this is going already. Let's discuss the unfortunate truth of Tesla deaths. Over 8 years, there have been 53 deaths associated with Tesla's Autopilot or full self-driving system spanning from 2016 to 2024. Approximately 60% stem from driver inattention or misuse, 25% from Tesla's tech limitations, and in my opinion, this would still fall under driver error for not paying sufficient attention, and 15% from external factors like other vehicles crashing into you whilst you happen to be using autopilot. So driver inattention remains the primary factor in most cases. So in the interest of balance and bearing in mind those 53 unfortunate deaths, what's your best guess of total global road traffic fatalities over that same 8-year period, including pedestrians? Do you have a number in your head? Well, it's approximately 10.16 million people died on our roads. How about traffic-related injuries over the same 8-year period? Approximately 280 million people. These numbers are unimaginable to me, probably you too. But do you see what's at stake by solving autonomy? 10 million deaths, 280 million injuries, some life-changing. That, above all else, is why I get a little bee in my bonnet when I watch what could be described as Tesla-hating propaganda like this, that deliberately chooses to ignore facts and data from the other side of the argument because of its fascination of vilifying Tesla and Elon Musk.
A driver using the electric car maker's autopilot system died after crashing into a highway barrier last month.
People believed Tesla when the company called it self-driving. They crashed into fire trucks, concrete barriers, parked cars. Federal investigators tied hundreds of crashes and 14 deaths to the technology. They said Tesla's marketing misled people about what the cars could actually do.
Rubbish, I'll put it bluntly. Those who caused an accident while misusing Tesla's autopilot technology don't want to take the blame or admit responsibility for their actions. Hence, we'll just blame the language Tesla used to describe their self-driving tech. That's what caused the accident, the confusing name of autopilot.
Now, one lawsuit by a single state agency could rein it in.
The lawsuit claims Elon Musk's company is misleading customers about the car's self-driving capabilities.
If Tesla loses this case, they're going to get walloped with a whole bunch of more legal actions against them.
This is how Tesla made millions of people test subjects for an unfinished technology, and how one lawsuit may be the beginning of the end.
We want to have a great sports car that you'd buy even if it wasn't electric.
The excitement surrounding Tesla's release is almost electric.
To understand how Tesla's entire future now hangs on technology they may not actually have, you need to know how this thing all started.
Okay, guys, if you're fed up with paying high gas prices, why not pull the plug?
Before Tesla, electric cars were boring.
Is this a Chevy Volt?
After, they were cooler than a Porsche. But that made Tesla just a car company. Musk wanted more. He wanted a network of self-driving cars.
That's really the difference between Tesla being worth a lot of money and being worth basically zero.
There was one big problem. Tesla didn't yet have the technology. So Tesla made a bet. While other companies tested this stuff in controlled environments, Tesla sold early versions of it to customers, calling it Autopilot and full self-driving.
Quick fact check. Which other companies have accumulated billions of miles of real-world data gathered from its fleet of millions of vehicles in real-world situations? Only Tesla has that massive data advantage, and those willing Tesla customers that bought and used the system to some extent knew full well, if they could read or had common sense, it was not yet a fully autonomous driving car. This clip, for some reason, chose to blur out the text right there when choosing to purchase FSD that says the current enabled features require active driver supervision and do not make the vehicle autonomous. And it even repeats that when you toggle the buttons on screen to activate Autopilot or FSD. But back to my point, no other company matches Tesla's consumer fleet scale for real-world data collection, and no other company has the manufacturing capabilities or affordable solution to scale autonomous cars and start chipping away at those millions of unnecessary accidents each year.
Wall Street loved it.
Tesla's reached escape velocity. Given autonomous driving, we think that in the next 5 years, the stock could actually go to 4,000.
But other companies started catching up. Tesla decided everyone else was wrong about how to build autonomous cars. They decided they could do it cheaper and better. And that's where this whole thing goes sideways.
What Tesla is doing with this single sensor flies in the face of what you are going to be taught at every university with a robotics program.
This is Missy Cummings. She is a former fighter pilot who now runs the Autonomous Robotics Lab at George Mason.
Missy Cummings, where have I heard her name before? Oh, what's this? A Teslarati article back from 2021. Over the years, Cummings has called Teslas killer robots, joked that she may punch Elon Musk in the face, and following Tesla's decision to remove radar from its vehicles, noted that there's no vision research out there which doesn't think that's crazy and is going to kill someone. I refer once more to the 10 million deaths over the past 8 years and what Tesla is striving to put an end to by solving autonomy, and a reminder of the phrase, it's always impossible until it's done. The article goes on. More importantly, however, Cummings also held a post at Veoneer, a Swedish lidar company which cites Tesla as a competitor. SEC filings even indicated that Cummings had received restricted stock units in Veoneer worth about $400,000 a year. She did eventually leave her post at Veoneer, but EV advocates remained wary about her inherent bias against competing technologies, or at least companies that she publicly bashed when her Twitter profile was still active. There's absolutely no possibility of bias against Tesla there then, and I won't even suggest that some university professors, while seemingly intelligent, have zero common sense and are teaching people, how do I put this, inaccurate truths about all sorts of matters.
Why would Tesla choose such a risky approach? Well, to get that, first look at what they were betting against. I asked Missy about Waymo, the industry leader.
You know, the big difference is this huge lidar contraption on the top. It uses this sensor to build that world model using laser beams.
Laser beams which happen to damage cameras, do God knows what to our own eyeballs and wildlife, and might well end up banned after unintended consequences come to light. But here's a question for you. Do you have lidar and radars beaming out of your head when you're driving as well as your two eyeball cameras? No! So how is it that most of us drive relatively successfully over an entire lifetime? Weird.
These laser beams are incredibly precise, but they can't see very far. That's where radar comes in.
What you can't really see, there is a radar here.
Radar's not as precise, but it sees far away. It gives the big picture that lasers can't. And then there are cameras that pull everything together.
These are the basically 3 sets of sensors that you would need to drive this car in a self-driving mode.
Every major self-driving car company has taken this approach, except Tesla. They only use one of these 3 technologies, cameras.
You can absolutely be superhuman with just cameras.
They call it Tesla vision or computer vision.
The best that computer vision can do is 97%, meaning 3 out of 100 situations that they're confronted with, they get wrong.
If 3 out of 100 flights ended in a crash, no one would fly.
You cannot fix this with computer vision, at least not in today's technology, and I don't think in my lifetime.
Notice all these very old clips of Tesla accidents on repeat. Don't forget to be terrified and outraged every time you hear the word Tesla. The assumption we've just heard is that Tesla is taking the cheap option of cameras only, cutting corners when compared to the safety of Waymo cars, for example. Well, how did all these superior self-driving cars end up crashing? Perhaps they just need more lidars and radars. Meanwhile, Tesla's robotaxis that are active in Austin and California have so far functioned without incident. I wonder if Missy Cummins will be open to changing her mind if she took a ride in a Tesla robotaxi, or perhaps given her expert stance, she would only trust the superior tech of a Waymo.
Which brings us back to the obvious question. Why is Tesla going this route?
I think for them it makes financial sense. All the other sensors are quite expensive.
Those extra sensors, they cost tens of thousands of dollars. And when more than half of your company's value depends on selling autonomous vehicles for under $30K,
this is really a money situation.
In 2015, high-end automotive lidar systems like those from Velodyne cost around $75,000 per unit. By 2020, they introduced a lidar sensor for $100, and other manufacturers followed suit with more affordable options. It's not that Tesla can't afford to add them, it's that Elon Musk saw the future and knows that if one sensor sees something and the other doesn't, you have a conflict. It can't make out what is true. This makes it unsafe, and why vision will win out in the long run.
This created a war inside the company between engineers trying to build safe systems and Musk pushing for marketable features. Here's how far Musk was willing to go. In 2016, Musk shared this promo video titled "Full Self-Driving Hardware on All Teslas." The car is driving itself. Problem is, the video was fake. Here's how we found out. A man died crashing into a highway wall while using Autopilot. During the ensuing trial, Tesla's own Autopilot director was forced to testify. Under oath, he admitted their famous demo video was staged, the route predetermined and mapped prior to filming. In fact, the car crashed into a fence during initial testing. This wasn't a one-time incident. When naming the system, engineers wanted Copilot. Musk demanded Autopilot. Engineers warned against removing radar from the technology. Musk ripped it out anyway. People resigned, and the impact was almost immediate.
So this is the classic phantom braking example.
Shadows, overpasses, anything can fool the camera, causing the car to stop.
Suggesting that Tesla's using Autopilot is to blame for any of these accidents is ridiculous. It's akin to blaming cruise control for an accident on a car that happens to be using it at the time. The driver is responsible for the vehicle, whether on Autopilot or FSD supervised. That will remain the case for any accident while using the system. If you choose to not pay attention and have a crash, that's on the driver every single time. Until, of course, it becomes full self-driving unsupervised. I have a question for just the Tesla owners. What's scarier to you? A Tesla on FSD supervised or a distracted human texting whilst driving? Assuming they're in control. Not even a mention of human error in this entire video, where things like this are happening every moment of every day. It could be you and your family heading towards this person texting at the wheel. NHTSA and legal cases note that Tesla's marketing, e.g. terms like autopilot and full self-driving, may lead drivers to overestimate the system. The NTSB, which is the National Transport Safety Board, concluded Tesla shared blame for a system too easy to misuse. I just can't wrap my head around this one. Any car is easy to misuse and becomes a lethal weapon in the hands of those not paying attention. People who are legally responsible for the vehicle's actions, whether driving it manually, on cruise control, autopilot, or even FSD supervised. You don't think that some people are simply looking to avoid responsibility of their inattentive actions after a crash, do you? Nah, don't be daft. Who would do such a thing in today's blame everyone but yourself society?
It's a problem for all computer vision systems. That's why you have multiple sensors.
The Washington Post analyzed the data. In the 22 months before dropping radar, there were 34 official reports of phantom braking. In the 3 months after Tesla started to phase out radar, reports jumped to over 100. In December of 2022, California regulators decided to act.
The DMV claims the words autopilot and full self-driving are misleading.
The state sued Tesla for deceptive advertising. If Tesla loses, they owe customers millions and get banned from the state for a month.
The downside risk for Tesla is significant here. Losing here would be really bad for them.
This is Eric Goldman, a law professor who specializes in advertising.
It has always boggled my mind how Tesla keeps reiterating its central claim that drivers can treat their cars as autonomous. If in fact that's not true.
Autopilot is a terrible name. Full self-driving is on its surface just false advertising, in my mind.
But it's called FSD Supervised to remind folks that they are supervising it. Altering the wording of Tesla's Autopilot or FSD won't change a damn thing. The people misusing it would still misuse it.
Tesla's defense? This is marketing, protected speech. We never said our cars are autonomous. Look at our disclaimers. They even rebranded to full self-driving, supervised. In the past, this defense worked. For years, Tesla has faced lawsuits from investors, customers, and victims around the company's self-driving claims. Those cases were dismissed or settled. But that's changing. In August, one finally broke through. And then there's Florida.
A Miami jury has found Elon Musk's car company Tesla was partly responsible for a deadly crash in Florida involving its autopilot driver assist technology. The company must pay the victims more than $240 million in damages.
The judge wrote that a reasonable jury could find that Tesla showed reckless disregard of human life for the sake of developing their product and maximizing profit.
Tesla's tech isn't just about full self-driving. Their cars come with active safety features such as cross-traffic avoidance that actively avoid crashes, even when you're not using FSD. It saved me and my family from being involved in an accident way back in 2020. We will never know just how many accidents Teslas have collectively avoided, something personally I think Tesla should collect and share. Here's some more data this video chooses to ignore. In the US, there was an automobile crash approximately every 700,000 miles. However, Tesla's using autopilot technology, there was one crash for every 6.7 million miles driven. That's almost 10 times safer than a regular car. And something I only learned recently, which is pretty important, is that Tesla's vehicle safety reports count crashes as autopilot related if the system was active within 5 seconds before impact and an airbag or restraint deployed. This conservative approach ensures accurate reporting, including incidents where autopilot was recently disengaged. Suggesting that Tesla acted in reckless disregard of human life for the sake of developing their product and maximising profit totally disregards Tesla's track record of producing the safest cars ever tested, from braking testing equipment to exceptional crash performance to countless examples of people walking away from horrific accidents unscathed. Tesla's commitment to safety is evident in its engineering and real-world outcomes. Their vehicles consistently achieve top safety ratings, with features like advanced structural design, low centre of gravity, and cutting-edge driver assistance systems, contributing to unmatched occupant protection. Tesla's safety record disproves claims of recklessness, showing that their focus on safety supports, not conflicts with, their innovation and business goals.
But the case in Florida might be a blip compared to California.
They really, really don't want anyone to conclude as a matter of law that Tesla has lied about the fact that these vehicles can operate autonomously.
This case has been dragging through the courts for a few years. A decision is finally expected in October. But here's the problem for Tesla. Even if Tesla wins, other states can still file their own lawsuits. All they win is the status quo. But if Tesla loses, they could be banned from their biggest state market, and it becomes a legal fact that their autonomous vehicles aren't real.
Aren't real? So people around the world are not driving around autonomously in their Teslas right now, supervised of course. Do let me know in the comments if you are one of those people who use Tesla's self-driving tech and whether you value it at all.
They're going to get walloped with a whole bunch of more legal actions against them, likely by both governments and by private plaintiffs bringing class action lawsuits. It seems like they would be writing very, very large checks to a lot of different people for having misled them.
Tesla aims to create safer, affordable, self-driving cars to reduce road accidents and deaths, with transformative potential like robo-taxis and personal autonomous vehicles. Dismissing it as a scam ignores full self-driving's progress and its life-saving potential. Vision-only systems using 8 cameras and AI avoid sensor conflicts and aim to surpass human driving. No other company matches Tesla's ability to mass-produce affordable autonomous cars, and in my opinion, blood is on the hands of those who are actively working against Tesla's progress. But that's just what I think. Do share your thoughts below and feel free to click on one of these videos next. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you patrons, thanks for watching, bye for now.